Amara stood at the edge of the garden, her heart heavy as she surveyed the vibrant blossoms that painted the landscape. A question weighed on her mind, heavy like the humid air before a summer storm. What would happen if the sanctuary she cherished were to vanish? Nestled between towering apartment buildings, the community garden was a quiet oasis, a patch of earth where nature thrived amidst the urban chaos. The air was filled with the sweet scent of blooming jasmine and the rich aroma of damp earth, promising life and renewal. Sunlight filtered through the leaves, casting a mosaic of soft shadows upon the ground, while the gentle rustle of the wind whispered secrets of the day. Birds chirped merrily, filling the space with their melodic calls, creating a symphony of sounds that enveloped Amara in a soothing embrace. In her late 30s, Amara was a gentle soul with a nurturing spirit. Her fingers, calloused yet soft from years of caring for the earth, deftly maneuvered through the vibrant petals and lush greenery. Gardening was her refuge, a way to escape the relentless demands of her job at the local library, where the quiet chaos of books and patrons often felt overwhelming. Here, in this small slice of paradise, she found solace, a purpose that transcended the ordinary. As she knelt to prune the delicate blossoms, her thoughts drifted to the familiar figure who often shared this sanctuary with her. Eli, a quiet artist in his early 40s, frequented the garden with his sketchbook in hand. He always seemed to blend into the surroundings, his presence as unobtrusive as the soft rustle of the leaves. Amara admired his dedication to capturing the beauty of the garden through his art, and she often caught glimpses of his focused expression as he sketched the flowers or observed the interactions of the small creatures that made this space their home. But today, the air felt different. A tension hung thick in the atmosphere, as if the wind itself was holding its breath. Amara had heard whispers of development plans that threatened the garden, rumors of a new parking lot that would pave over the very soil that had nurtured their dreams and hopes. The thought made her stomach twist in knots. How could they allow such a precious place to be destroyed for more concrete? As the sun began its descent, casting a warm golden hue over the garden, Amara rose from her kneeling position and glanced towards Eli, who sat on a nearby bench, his sketchbook resting on his lap. His brow furrowed in concentration, and Amara could sense an air of introspection about him. She approached him, her heart heavy with the weight of the news she had just learned. "Eli," she began softly, her voice barely above a whisper, as if speaking too loudly might shatter the fragile peace. "Have you heard about the plans for the garden?" He looked up, his eyes reflecting a mix of curiosity and concern. "I've heard some murmurs," he replied slowly, his voice calm and steady, much like the gentle breeze that stirred the leaves around them. "What's happening?" Amara took a deep breath, feeling the warmth of the sun on her skin and the coolness of the earth beneath her feet. "They want to replace it with a parking lot. They say it's for progress, but it feels like a loss, doesn't it?" Eli's expression shifted, a flicker of sadness crossing his face. "This garden is more than just a collection of plants. It's a refuge, a place where we can come to breathe, to create, to connect. It would be a shame to lose it." The two sat in silence for a moment, allowing the weight of their shared concern to settle between them. The sounds of the garden, the gentle rustling of leaves, the distant laughter of children playing, the soothing hum of bees, seemed to echo their thoughts, enveloping them in a cocoon of tranquility. In that moment, Amara felt a surge of determination. This garden was not just a collection of flowers and trees. It was a living tapestry woven with the stories and memories of the community. It was where she had found solace during difficult times, where Eli had drawn inspiration for his art, and where countless others had sought refuge from the bustling city life. "We can't let this happen," Amara said, her voice firm with conviction. "We need to fight for this place, organize a meeting, gather support.
If we all come together, we can show the city how much this garden means to us." Eli nodded slowly, a spark of hope igniting in his eyes. "You're right. This garden is part of who we are. We need to remind everyone of its importance." As the sun dipped lower in the sky, casting long shadows across the garden, Amara and Eli began to brainstorm ideas, their hearts fueled by a shared passion for the sanctuary they cherished. The vibrant colors of the flowers seemed to brighten in response to their determination, and the sounds of the garden wrapped around them like a comforting blanket. In that moment, under the fading light of day, they felt a sense of purpose blossoming in their hearts, a gentle echo of the garden's enduring spirit. Together, they would nurture this place, fighting for its future, ensuring that its beauty would continue to inspire and soothe for generations to come. And so, as the evening drew closer and the stars began to twinkle in the sky, Amara and Eli found themselves standing at the threshold of a journey, one that would take them deep into the heart of their community and the essence of what it meant to belong. They were ready to plant the seeds of change, hoping that, in time, their voices would resonate like the echoes of the garden, reminding everyone of the beauty that could be found in nature and the importance of preserving it. As they left the garden that evening, Amara took one last look at the blossoms, her heart swelling with hope. The garden was more than just a collection of flowers. It was a symbol of resilience, a reminder that even in the midst of uncertainty, beauty and connection could bloom. Amara inhaled deeply, allowing the fragrant air to soothe her troubled thoughts. The sweet scent of blooming jasmine mingled with the earthy aroma of freshly turned soil, wrapping around her like a warm embrace. With each breath, she felt a flicker of determination igniting within her. This garden was more than just a collection of plants. It was a refuge, a breathing entity that held stories of laughter, healing, and community. As she wandered deeper into the garden, the sound of chirping birds filled her ears, harmonizing with the gentle rustle of leaves swaying in the breeze. The sun filtered through the canopy of green, casting dappled shadows on the ground, and illuminating the vibrant petals of tulips, marigolds, and daisies that danced in the light. She could hear the whispers of fellow gardeners, their voices mingling with the soft hum of bees flitting from flower to flower. Amara paused by a cluster of sunflowers, their golden heads bobbing cheerfully in the wind, and felt a familiar presence beside her. Eli stood there, sketchbook in hand, his brow furrowed in thought. The artist's fingers traced the outlines of the sunflowers, capturing their essence with gentle strokes. A sense of camaraderie blossomed between them, rooted in their shared love for this special place. "Beautiful, isn't it?" Amara said softly, breaking the comfortable silence. Eli looked up, his eyes reflecting the warmth of the sun. "It is. Every time I come here, it feels like a little piece of magic." He turned back to his sketch, adding delicate details that brought the sunflowers to life on the page. For a moment, they stood side by side, basking in the beauty of the garden. But then, the weight of reality seeped back in, a reminder of the impending threat looming over their sanctuary. Amara's heart sank, and she spoke again, her voice barely above a whisper. "Did you hear about the meeting next week? The city council wants to discuss the development plans." Eli's pencil paused mid-stroke. "I did. It's hard to believe they would even consider paving over this place. It means so much to so many." Amara nodded, her heart racing as she thought of all the time she had spent here, nurturing the flowers and sharing stories with neighbors. "We can't let them take it away, Eli. We have to do something." The artist turned to face her, his eyes filled with resolve. "You're right. We should gather the community, share our thoughts, show them how vital this garden is." Amara smiled, encouraged by his enthusiasm. Together, they began to brainstorm ideas for the meeting, their voices blending into the serene backdrop of the garden. As the sun dipped lower in the sky, casting a warm golden hue over the landscape, they outlined plans to invite fellow gardeners and community members to join them in voicing their concerns.
The days that followed were filled with preparation. Amara and Eli painted flyers adorned with colorful illustrations of the garden, inviting everyone to come together. They distributed the flyers around the neighborhood, their hearts pounding with hope and trepidation. Yet, as the meeting date approached, doubts began to settle in like a heavy fog. Some community members still held fast to the idea that the new parking lot would bring necessary development and convenience. They preferred concrete over the vibrant blooms that swayed in the breeze. Amara and Eli faced skepticism from those who could not see the beauty and importance of their beloved garden. On the eve of the meeting, Amara sat on a weathered bench beneath the shade of an old oak tree, her fingers grazing the rough bark as she sought comfort in its presence. She closed her eyes and listened to the sounds around her, the whisper of the wind, the distant laughter of children playing, the gentle crooning of songbirds as they settled in for the night. Eli joined her, sitting quietly beside her. "What if they don't understand?" he asked, breaking the silence, his voice laced with uncertainty. "They will," Amara replied, her voice steady despite her own doubts. "If we share our stories, our love for this garden, they will understand." Eli nodded, though his brow remained furrowed. "You know, I've always felt that art connects people. Maybe I could bring my sketches tomorrow, show them the garden's beauty through my eyes." A flicker of hope ignited within Amara. "That's a wonderful idea. Your art can speak in ways words sometimes can't." As they sat in the twilight, the garden enveloping them in its gentle embrace, Amara realized how deeply connected she felt to Eli. Their shared passion for this space had woven a bond between them, one that transcended mere acquaintance. She felt a warmth in her chest, a sense of kinship that was both exhilarating and comforting. The next day arrived, bright and clear, the sun rising with a promise of warmth. The flowers seemed to bloom more vibrantly, as if they too sensed the importance of the day. Amara and Eli arrived early, setting up chairs beneath the shade of the oak tree, the heart of the garden. As community members trickled in, Amara felt a mixture of excitement and anxiety swirling within her. Eli displayed his sketches on an easel, the images capturing the garden in all its glory. The colors danced and twinkled, drawing attendees closer. Amara watched as familiar faces approached, some curious, others skeptical, but all drawn by the beauty of the garden. As the meeting began, Amara took a deep breath, grounding herself in the moment. She shared her own connection to the garden, recalling how it had helped her find peace during difficult times. Her voice trembled slightly, but her passion shone through, illuminating the stories of countless others who had found solace here. Eli complimented her words with his sketches, inviting everyone to see the garden through his eyes. Each image told a story of life, growth, and community. The sound of rustling leaves and the gentle hum of bees created a soothing backdrop, allowing the atmosphere to soften the edges of doubt. Yet, as they shared, Amara could still sense the skepticism lingering in the air. Some community members questioned whether preserving the garden was worth the inconvenience of lost parking spaces, but their words, though dismissive, only fueled her determination. As the meeting continued, Amara glanced around at the faces gathered under the oak tree. Some were nodding in agreement, while others appeared lost in thought, contemplating the value of nature amidst the hustle of urban life. The garden, with its vibrant blooms and gentle sounds, began to weave its magic, reaching into the hearts of those present. As the sun dipped lower, casting long shadows across the garden, Amara felt a renewed sense of hope. They were not alone in their fight. The community was beginning to rally. Perhaps, just perhaps, they could save this cherished sanctuary. Before they concluded, Amara looked out at the gathered crowd, her heart swelling with gratitude. "Thank you all for being here today. This garden is a part of our lives, a place that nurtures not only plants but also our spirits. Let's work together to protect it." As the meeting wrapped up, Amara felt her heart beat with a rhythm of hope. Yet, even as they left the garden that day, she knew the battle was far from over.
They had taken the first step, but many obstacles lay ahead. If you find yourself drawn to the beauty of nature and feel inspired by stories of community, consider subscribing to our channel. Join us as we explore tales of connection, resilience, and the places that hold our hearts. Your support helps us continue sharing these journeys, reminding us all to cherish the beauty that surrounds us. As Amara and Eli strolled through the garden one last time, she whispered, "Whatever comes next, we'll face it together." The sun began to set, casting a golden glow over the flowers, illuminating the path ahead. And so, under the watchful gaze of the stars that began to twinkle above, they walked forward, hearts united in their mission, ready to embrace the challenges that lay ahead. The community meeting was set for 7 o'clock that evening, the warm glow of twilight beginning to drape the garden in a soft embrace. Amara stood in the center of the garden, her heart racing as she arranged the last of the folding chairs. Each chair was a symbol of hope, a testament to the community's commitment to preserving their beloved sanctuary. The vibrant hues of the flowers around her seemed to pulse with energy, echoing the anxiety and anticipation that thrummed in her chest. As the sun dipped lower in the sky, casting long shadows that danced across the garden's pathways, Amara could hear the distant hum of the city, a reminder of the battle they faced. She took a deep breath, inhaling the mingled scents of honeysuckle and freshly turned earth. They were familiar and soothing, yet they did little to calm the storm within her. Eli approached, his sketchbook tucked under one arm, the other cradling a steaming cup of chamomile tea. His presence was a comforting balm, grounding her amidst her swirling thoughts. "Are you ready?" he asked, his voice low and steady, like the rhythm of the wind rustling through the leaves. Amara nodded, though uncertainty flickered in her eyes. "What if no one comes?" she whispered, the fear of abandonment clawing at her heart. "What if they don't care?" Eli placed the warm cup in her hands. "They will come. This garden means something to them, just as it does to us. Just look around." He gestured to the blooming flowers, their petals glimmering in the fading light. "These flowers have witnessed laughter, tears, and friendships being forged. They are part of the community's story." As the hour approached, neighbors began to trickle in, their faces illuminated by the soft glow of the garden lights. Amara welcomed each person with a smile, her heart swelling with gratitude as familiar faces gathered around. Mrs. Henderson, the elderly woman who had taught Amara how to plant roses. The Rodriguez kids, who often played hide-and-seek among the tall sunflowers. And Mr. Chen, who had shared countless cups of tea with Eli as they marveled at the changing seasons. As the last few attendees settled into their seats, Amara glanced at Eli, who stood ready with his sketchbook in hand, poised to capture the moment. She took a deep breath, steadying her nerves, and approached the center of the gathering. The whispers dimmed, and all eyes turned toward her. "Thank you all for coming," she began, her voice quavering slightly. "This garden is more than just a collection of flowers. It's our sanctuary, our shared space of beauty and connection." She gestured around them, her heart swelling with emotion as she spoke. "It has brought us together, given us a place to breathe, to heal, and to grow." The air was thick with anticipation, and she could feel the weight of unspoken thoughts hanging in the atmosphere. Amara continued, "But now we face a threat. The city plans to replace this garden with a parking lot, erasing everything we've built here." She paused, the heaviness of her words settling over the crowd. A murmur of disbelief rippled through the gathering, the realization of their vulnerability casting a shadow over the vibrant blooms. Eli stepped forward, his presence commanding attention as he opened his sketchbook. "I've been drawing this garden for years," he said, his voice steady and earnest. "Each flower, each moment shared within these walls. It's not just art, it's a record of our lives here. If we lose this place, we lose part of ourselves." As he held up his sketches, the crowd leaned closer, captivated by the beauty he had captured on paper. The sketches portrayed not only the flowers, but also the joyous moments shared, the laughter of children, the gentle exchanges between neighbors, and the peace found in quiet solitude. Amara watched as the faces around her softened, their expressions shifting from skepticism to contemplation. Just as the atmosphere began to lift, a figure stepped forward, a woman dressed in a crisp suit, her presence commanding attention. It was Council Member Thompson, a name that had been whispered among them as someone who could sway the decision in their favor. A hush fell over the crowd as she cleared her throat, her gaze sweeping across the gathering. "I grew up in this neighborhood," she began, her voice rich with nostalgia. "This garden was my escape, my refuge. I spent countless afternoons here, climbing trees and picking flowers. I remember the sense of community it fostered, the laughter that echoed through these paths." She paused, her eyes glistening with memories. Amara's heart raced as she listened. Here was the unexpected support they had desperately needed. "When I heard about the plans for the parking lot, I felt a deep sense of loss," Thompson continued. "I understand how vital this space is to all of you. We must find a way to preserve it." A wave of emotion washed over Amara as the crowd erupted in applause, their spirits lifted by this unexpected ally. She felt a surge of hope, the kind that ignited a fire within her. "Thank you," she said, her voice breaking slightly. "We need to show the city how much this garden means to us. Together, we can make our voices heard." As the meeting continued, stories began to flow, each one a thread woven into the fabric of the garden's legacy. Neighbors spoke of birthdays celebrated under the boughs of the old oak tree, of quiet moments spent watching the butterflies dance amidst the blossoms, and of the friendships that had blossomed like the flowers around them. Amara shared her own story, her voice trembling as she recounted the difficult period in her life when she discovered the garden. "It was my sanctuary during a time of darkness," she admitted, her eyes glistening with unshed tears. "It reminded me that beauty could exist even in the midst of pain. This garden helped me heal." The crowd listened intently, their hearts resonating with her words. Eli, too, shared his journey of finding inspiration in the garden, his sketches a testament to its power. As they spoke, the garden itself seemed to come alive, its colors deepening, the scents intensifying, and the sounds of nature harmonizing with their hopes and dreams. As the meeting drew to a close, Amara felt a renewed sense of purpose. They had rallied together, their voices echoing in the twilight, creating a symphony of hope. She glanced at Eli, who smiled back at her, his eyes filled with warmth and encouragement. But just as they were about to conclude the meeting, a sharp sound pierced the air, a distant clattering that disrupted the tranquility of the garden. A group of city workers had arrived, their machines rumbling ominously, a stark contrast to the peaceful energy of the gathering. Panic rippled through the crowd as they turned to face the encroaching threat. "They can't be here now," Amara exclaimed, her heart racing as she stepped forward, her voice rising above the commotion. "This is our garden. You can't take it from us." Eli grabbed her arm gently, grounding her as fear threatened to overtake her. "Stay calm," he whispered. "We have the support now. We can't let this moment be overshadowed by fear." As the workers approached, Council Member Thompson stepped forward, her expression resolute. "Hold on. We are in the middle of a community meeting regarding this garden. We need to talk about this before any decisions are made." The workers paused, exchanging glances of uncertainty, and for a moment, time seemed to stretch. The tension in the air was palpable, a heavy silence hanging over the garden. Finally, one of the workers, a burly man with a weathered face, spoke up. "We're just following orders," he said, his voice gruff yet softened by the weight of the moment. "But if there's a compelling reason to stop, we can hold off." Amara's heart raced as she realized the gravity of their situation. This was their chance. "We have stories, memories, and a community that believes in the importance of this garden," she said, her voice steady as she addressed the workers.
Please, listen to us." Eli stepped beside her, holding up his sketches once more. "This is not just a patch of land, it's our home, our sanctuary. We need you to understand what this place means to us." As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting a golden glow across the garden, the workers hesitated, their expressions shifting as they exchanged glances. The energy of the crowd surged, a collective spirit of determination igniting a fire within them all. In that moment, Amara felt a profound connection to her neighbors, to the garden, and to something greater than themselves. They were not just fighting for a piece of land, they were fighting for their memories, their community, and their shared future. The workers, visibly moved by the heartfelt pleas, stepped back, their machines silent for the time being. Councilmember Thompson took the lead, her voice firm yet compassionate. "We will take your stories into consideration. This garden deserves a chance, and we will find a way to preserve it." As the crowd erupted in cheers, Amara felt a wave of relief wash over her. They had faced a moment of crisis, yet together they had found strength. And in that shared heartbeat of hope, the garden echoed with the promise of a future where nature thrived amidst the urban landscape, where memories continued to blossom like the flowers they cherished. As the stars began to twinkle above, Amara looked around at the faces of her neighbors, illuminated by the soft glow of the garden lights, each one a reflection of resilience and unity. In that instant, she knew they had created something beautiful, not just for themselves, but for generations to come. With a heart full of gratitude, she whispered a silent prayer of thanks to the garden that had brought them all together. And as the night enveloped them, she felt an overwhelming sense of peace, knowing that they had fought for what mattered most. And so, as the garden slept beneath a blanket of stars, its echoes would linger on, a testament to the power of community, love, and the unyielding spirit of those who dare to dream. Now, let your thoughts drift away, and let the night carry you to gentle dreams. As the sun began to dip below the horizon, casting a warm golden glow across the community garden, Amara felt a swell of hope within her chest. It had been a long journey filled with uncertainty, but today the air was charged with a sense of possibility. The community had come together, united by their love for this little oasis, and their determination to protect it had only grown stronger. Amara stood among the flowers, her heart swelling with gratitude as she watched her neighbors arrive for the gathering. Eli was already there, sketchbook in hand, capturing the essence of the moment. The garden was alive with laughter and chatter, the sounds of community intertwining with the gentle rustling of leaves and the distant chirping of crickets. It was a sweet symphony that wrapped around them like a warm blanket, soothing and reassuring. The community meeting had transformed from a place of anxiety into a celebration of unity. Each person brought their stories of how the garden had touched their lives. There was Mrs. Thompson, who had planted her first roses there with her late husband, their laughter echoing in the petals. Young children shared tales of butterflies fluttering through the blooms, their wide eyes sparkling with enchantment. Even the skeptical neighbors slowly came around, sharing how the garden had offered them a quiet space to breathe amid the chaos of life. Eli stood up, his voice steady and clear as he shared his sketches with everyone. Each stroke of his pencil told a story of beauty and resilience, capturing the essence of the garden and its importance to their lives. With every drawing, he painted a picture of hope, igniting a fire within the hearts of those gathered. Amara watched as Eli spoke, his confidence shining through. She realized how far they both had come, a shared journey of courage and connection that had blossomed just like the flowers around them. As the evening deepened, a familiar face stepped forward. Councilmember Rodriguez, the influential figure who had unexpectedly joined their meeting. The air buzzed with anticipation as she shared her own memories of the garden.
She spoke of her childhood, running through the pathways, playing hide and seek among the flowers, and feeling the freedom that only nature could provide. Her voice was filled with warmth as she expressed her commitment to advocate for the garden, to ensure that it remained a cherished part of the community.
With her support, the energy in the garden shifted. A petition was formed, and hands were raised in agreement. Amara felt a spark of empowerment igniting within her. This was more than just a garden. It was a testament to their collective strength and resilience. Each signature on that petition was a promise to protect their sanctuary, to stand together against the tide of development that threatened to erase their cherished space. As the night sky blanketed the garden in deep indigo, the stars began to twinkle above them like tiny lights of hope. Amara looked around, her heart full. She had found her voice, and through her efforts, she had inspired others to share their own. Eli stood beside her, his sketches now adorned with signatures of support, a canvas of community and hope. They had both grown, learning that their love for this garden was a powerful catalyst for change. With a gentle breeze weaving through the garden, Amara felt a sense of peace wash over her. The garden was safe, for now. But more than that, it had become a symbol of unity, of resilience, and the beauty of coming together for a common cause. Laughter and joy echoed through the space as families danced and celebrated their victory, their spirits lifted by the promise of a bright future. As the gathering began to wind down, Amara took a moment to breathe deeply, inhaling the fragrance of jasmine that filled the air. She closed her eyes, allowing the sounds of laughter and nature to envelop her. This garden was not just a place of refuge. It was a reflection of who they were as a community, a tapestry woven from shared experiences, memories, and dreams. Before the last of the evening faded into night, Amara stepped forward to speak. "Thank you all for being here tonight," she began, her voice steady yet soft. "This garden has always been a place of solace for many of us, but tonight it has become something even more remarkable. We are not just neighbors, we are a family, and together we have created something beautiful." Her gaze shifted to Eli, who nodded encouragingly, and she continued, "Let us carry this spirit forward, nurturing not just this garden, but each other. Every flower here symbolizes hope, and together we can ensure that hope blooms for generations to come." With those words, Amara felt a wave of calmness wash over her. The garden, with its vibrant colors and life, would continue to thrive, a beautiful reminder of the power of community, love, and determination. With those words, Amara felt a wave of calmness wash over her. The garden, with its vibrant colors and life, would continue to thrive, a beautiful reminder of the power of community, love, and determination. As they slowly began to disperse, Amara took one last look at the garden, a place that had witnessed her journey of growth and strength. The moonlight cast a silver glow across the petals, making them shimmer like tiny stars. In that moment, she realized that the echoes of their voices, their laughter, and their dreams would forever resonate in the heart of the garden. Now, as you prepare to drift off into the gentle embrace of sleep, remember that the beauty of connection and community can create a haven for us all. In your own life, may you find your garden, your place of peace, where hope blooms and dreams take flight. Now, let your thoughts drift away, and let the night carry you to gentle dreams.